This is the talk show that takes a no-holds-barred approach to politics, where truth and integrity are the standard and the Constitution honored. From Renaissance Studios, this is Champion News Talk Radio.
Good morning and welcome to another great edition of Champion News Talk Radio. We are brought to you by championnews.net, your choice for the conservative voice. This is Carol Parisi. Today our founder, Jack Roser, and myself have Charles Butler with us. And Charles is an entrepreneur and a radio talk show host. And we're happy to have you with us today, Charles. And how are you today, Jack?
Very happy to have Charles aboard. Charles has been a figure in industry and on radio in Chicago for some time, and I admire this guy.
Thank you, Jack.
Probably because we agree on quite a few things.
We do. We do.
But you've been an outspoken guy in a very unfriendly place, the city of Chicago. And we started two offices in our Champion News thing. We started two offices in Chicago to represent the Republican Party. And I know it was not a friendly atmosphere to be doing things like that in Chicago. But you've lived in Chicago quite a while, haven't you?
Since 97.
97.
Moved here from San Diego.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we were talking on air here that you were with Hewlett-Packard.
I was.
In the early days of that.
I was, yes.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
So, Charles, what do you do right now? What are you doing right now?
I'm a talk show host. I have a show called The Take with Charles Butler, which is on Blog Talk Radio. Also, I'm a financial advisor. I advise small, mid-sized, and large companies about how to avoid taxes and business succession planning.
Avoid taxes. It's so unpatriotic, our vice president would say, or maybe it is our president.
Both of them, let them pay more taxes. See, these are two guys who use every opportunity. In fact, they don't spend much money. Barack Obama lives in the people's house. So what rent is he paying? What mortgage is he paying? Barack Obama's eating the people's food, but he thinks it's his because he thinks he's an emperor. And the bottom line is, this is a guy who has never worked for a living, really, and should have been ran out of the White House just on his record. But here we are dealing with Emperor Obama for another 3.5 years. I am counting the days.
That's the most arrogant man I've ever heard.
No question.
Arrogant. He thinks his judgment is better than that of the whole population of the United States. He can run us better than we can run ourselves.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, Jack, because I think it's that whole political elite, and especially the black political elite. We had a session Tuesday at the Union League Club where Kwame Raoul came to speak to us, Senator Kwame Raoul, and Representative, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he's from the House side. He's pushing through the bill on concealed carry. And Brandon, I can't come with Brandon's last name right now, but anyway.
He's pushing a bill on concealed carry of weapons, on being able for honest people with a good record that can carry a piece.
In Illinois. But Kwame Kilpatrick made
God bless his efforts.
Yes. And Kwame Kilpatrick's Kwame Raoul is working with him. Bottom line was, Kwame Raoul said in this session that he did not vote the way the people wanted him to vote, that he took in information and voted the way that he thought was best for the people. How arrogant is that?
Yeah, it's.
But you have to remember,
it's shot through these people.
But
they put them in place, and they substitute their judgment for yours.
No question. But they are there to represent us.
How can anybody handle the complexity of a whole economy, of all the different things that have to occur, from an army to helping the poor? I mean, that's a great span. What an arrogant. The free market is the way to handle those multitude of decisions out there. I was in Switzerland one time, and they pointed out to me that they work 6 days a week, and they vote on Sunday. And I pulled out my wallet, and I took a dollar bill out of there and said, in America, we vote every day.
That's right. That's right. And and you look at if you look at the green industry, you look at healthcare, you look at any of these things. They should be driven by the free market, and since government has taken them over, we see a lot of government waste. We see our money going to projects and funding projects that Barack Obama and companies that Barack Obama has chosen for us. Now, you have to remember, this is a man who's never run anything but his presidential campaigns by his own admission. Not Charles Butler.
He was a community organizer, but you also have to remember
No, he was not. Listen, let me explain that very clearly, Carol.
Okay.
I know Barack Obama, first of all. And Barack Obama, as a community organizer, he was not a manager. He was not a visionary. He was not a strategist. He walked in, they gave him a list of organizations to go visit, and he'd go out and talk to these organizations. The reason I know is because when I was at VON, I had people call in who'd worked with him who said, well, this is what we did. I said, yeah, I worked with the guy. This is what we did. I said, he wasn't your manager. He wasn't your super. No, we got a piece of paper with names on it, and we went and handed them out.
He's a puppet.
No, he was a community organizer, but he wasn't any big muckety-muck. It's just like his record as a professor at University of Chicago, which has been embellished tremendously. I always tell people, go to U of C's website and look at Barack Obama. The bottom line was he was an adjunct professor, a part-time professor, teaching an elective course that had become very unpopular because he was teaching against the Constitution. And he thought that students wanted to listen to how our Constitution was outdated and outmoded, and the popularity of his class was being phased out.
You know, there's another thing that they don't talk much about. There was an article in the Tribune recently about how many people are being thrown off the ballot that have signed up, got their petitions in, and for some trivial thing like using an ampersand in their petition instead of A-N-D, throw them off the ballot. When Obama ran for the position of senator here in Illinois, his first elected position, he wasn't elected to it because he threw the incumbent and 3 others off the ballot with technicalities in their thing. Well,
if you look at Barack Obama, really hasn't read much.
That's not right, because the technicalities can involve the kind of staple that you put the bundle of things together with. There's a lot of little tiny things that if you're a picky little rascal that knows how to work it with the lawyers, you can throw people off. That's what Obama did. He wasn't elected.
He's a manufactured phenomenon is what he is.
Yes.
And if you look at everything from his perception, though, he is a globalist. He believes in redistributing America's wealth to other countries.
That's true.
Because America was this great big colonizer and we've taken so much from other countries. That is his perspective.
But he said that. He said that when he went to Cairo in May of 2009 on his apologist tour. And people have tried to downplay it, and I always just play the tapes. I said, this is what he said.
This is what he said.
He said America needs to be brought down a notch. What is he doing? He's destroying us from the Oval Office.
He's destroying us from the inside out.
Yes.
Now let's also remember who Barack Obama's big mentors were. First of all, Frank Marshall Davis. And you also have Saul Alinsky. I mean, he was schooled by people that have a very progressive socialist purview.
Davis was a flat-out communist in Chicago.
Being nice.
Things got, he made enough enemies here that he left and he went to Hawaii. And he became the principal advisor of Obama in Hawaii. But he's destroyed all background records he could, Obama has, as to whether he was born in Africa or in Indonesia. He was a citizen of Indonesia, and he came and he got all kinds of favors in this country as being a foreign student.
He did. And that's the key. He is an American because his mom was American. So if he'd been born on the moon, it wouldn't make any difference. But the question that Americans never knew is that this man was raised in Jakarta as an Indonesian. His view of America is from an Indonesian, Hawaiian perspective. Hawaii, for those of us who, I spent a lot of time in Hawaii, I don't know about any of you, but I know that Hawaii is not like the mainland. They don't have the attitude of the mainland. Barack Obama said himself, I am lazy. I guess it comes from my Hawaii upbringing. But what he didn't add was his Indonesian upbringing, which he was raised in Indonesia till he was 11 years old. And wore the little male skirt, the similar or whatever they call them.
Well, he's the most transparent administration. I find it to be compelling. We know nothing of him. And it's funny that he wants background checks now for the Second Amendment, and he was not allowing anybody to background check him
That's
before
exactly
he
right.
ran. And I find it to be profound hypocrisy, Charles, don't you, that he has not exposed any of his college records.
That's true. But Senator Grassley said to me on my show that the Obama administration is the least transparent administration since Dick Nixon.
You know what? We're going to talk more to Charles when we come back. Stay with us after the break. Do you have a printing emergency or just need a fast quality printing for a reasonable price? Go to print911.com.